SymptomSense is a product that you're involved in, and it is essentially, a full body scanner, just like you would go through a metal detector to get into an arena or a game. At some point, we all hope that we will be able to go back to arenas and live games, even with COVID-19 being a factor. How will it happen?
So I think we're going to have different levels of confidence building. Obviously, we're getting closer and closer to treatments, and death rates are false, so remdesivir and different steroids. And I'm also on the board of a Canadian pharma company that's got human trials going. And so one will be treatments and will be less severe. Two will be restoring public confidence. That's the biggest key. And so if there's ways to have fairly accurate measures of you're sick today, you ought not to come to the baseball game, and then you actually then do the seating correctly. So if 30% of the people show, you then space them out every third seat, we can restore a level of confidence. The question is, how can we quickly get a pretty good handle as to who's sick? And the answer so far has been, well, do temperature testing. But what we know now, so if you look, you saw Ron Rivera entering Redskin Park, and as the little clip showed, he put his face to this little gate, and it announced his temperature, and he walked through. What we know now is that temperature testing alone, even if you have the most accurate that there is, and most of these aren't accurate, predicts about 11% success rate as to detecting who is sick. That's why the CDC has told every emergency room, every hospital, that you measure four things. You measure temperature, blood oxygen, blood pressure, heart rate, and then respiration rate. And from that, if you do the right calculations, you can figure out congestion, you can figure out cough, you can figure out the symptomology. And the question was, and if you cross all four of those, you can get a 98% accurate prediction, not that this person has COVID, but that this person is sick. And if you're sick today, whether or not you feel it, you don't feel the cough, your blood ox level has gone much faster than your temperature went up, or you maybe took 2 Tylenol and so you're feeling okay, but your blood ox level won't be fooled. And the question is, could we scan people to scan out the 2% who are sick? The 3% who'll be sick. Can we do that with a 98% accuracy level? And there is now a metal detector. It's the company I joined the board of advisors, where they make the SymptomSense metal detector. It's made by the same person, Derek Peterson, who invented the wave metal detector at the airport, the one where you put your hand over your heads and it kind of scans you. And it basically has sensors from Texas Instruments and Microsoft and the like. And basically in the 5-second metal detector, it is scanned confidentially and contactless, your blood ox, your temperature, your heart rate, your respiration, and it can green light you or red light you whether you're sick or not. And now there are insurance companies who have come up and put together a program for the leagues that say, we will insure, you sell your tickets, you keep all the revenue. We'll take the risk. We'll do the calculations of the risk of how many people will have to get ticket refunds. And basically all you need to be told is you're going to be screened in the metal detector for a health screening as well. And if you don't pass, you're going to get an immediate refund for you and your family and come back another day. And otherwise, we have a 98% accuracy that the people in the stadium will not be sick that day.
That is so. We're talking to Howard Gutman. Howard was the former ambassador to Belgium, but he's been involved in a lot of things. You've had a very eclectic life, and you're involved with SymptomSense, which is this scanner that you've just described, which would be potentially the scanner that everybody would have to go through to determine whether or not you're sick before you enter an arena or a stadium. And we're probably a long way off from this being a reality anyway. And if you don't pass the test, you're given a refund and you got to go home. But at least people in the stadium or arena know that they're at a safety level that's pretty high.